going to talk about the Flower Drum Song, and specifically the character I'll be focusing on is Mei Li. The Flower Drum Song came out in the 1960s. Now, the actress who portrays Mei Li is an Asian American. However, Mei Li herself, the character, is a Chinese immigrant who's come from China to marry someone in America, specifically San Francisco. Now, we can see many different stereotypes that Asians were portrayed through the character of Mei Li. Many Asian American women were portrayed as very dainty and delicate and dependent on men in media during the 1960s, and this is shown by the clip with Mei Li. As we can see, Mei Li is very, very soft-spoken, and when Wong Ta talks with her, she's very calm and very classy and very ladylike. And when she shakes hands with Wong Ta, she always bows to him, and when Wong Ta left, she also bowed back to him. And you can notice that Wong Ta never does the same motion, so it's kind of specifically just for Mei Li and her character as an immigrant. In addition, she also, when Wong Ta asks her why she comes to America, she comes specifically to get married, and so that kind of plays up the factor of just her character being very dependent. She is dependent on getting married and dependent on other males to be able to stay in the country and just to be able to live. You can tell from her demeanor, she's not very independent, and this fits the stereotype of how Asians were portrayed in media during this time.
Tell me, Miss Lee, what do you expect to do here in San Francisco?
I came here to get married.
Married? Oh, I see. Well, I hope you'll be very happy.
I hope you will be happy, too.
Thanks. I must say one thing for my father. He's got good taste.
Oh, yes.
Good night, Miss Lee. I hope you're going to like it here.
Good night, Mr. Wanta.
From the 1980s to the 90s, there are a few progressions or more diverse roles for Asian actors. For example, on Gilmore Girls, you have Lane, who plays the rebellious teenage daughter and the main character's best friend. You also see predecessors of future roles of today, such as Deborah Chen on ER and Mrs. Kim, Lane's mother, who's one of the first examples of the Tiger Mom trope. The character of Mr. Miyagi in the 1984 film version of The Karate Kid is one of the most famous depictions of a male in American film. In comparison to the 2010 film where it took place in China, this version took place in California, thus isolating Mr. Miyagi as an ethnic minority among the white actors. He follows through the tradition and trope that older Asian male mentors are supposed to be wise, calm, and methodical to the point of where the other characters don't know exactly the purpose of their lessons. Danny LaRusso, the main character, is perplexed at first when Mr. Miyagi instructs him to wax cars, when in fact he was building muscle to defeat the bully at school.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off. Breathe in through nose, out the mouth. Wax on, wax off. Don't forget to breathe. Very important. Wax on, wax off. Wax on.
Moving on to the 2000s, all the way up to today, we see a lot of progression for Asian actors and roles. Looking at Glenn from Walking Dead, or Christina Yang in Grey's Anatomy. These characters are not necessarily defined by the Asian stereotypes. We also have shows like The Mindy Project and Master of None. However, I think stereotypes can still exist. I wanted to look at Fresh Off the Boat as a prime example. The show came out in 2015 on ABC, and it's one of the only shows featuring an Asian American family on American TV today. It's based on a memoir about a real-life Asian American family. The show is making a lot of progress as it features real-life relatable experiences for Asian Americans and giving Asian characters a lot more dimension than in the past. However, the show can be seen as controversial. Looking at certain characters, we can see that Asian stereotypes are still reflected in the show. I wanted to focus on Constance Wu's character, the mom, Jessica Huang, and look at how she portrays the typical tiger mom. She's very stern and demanding with her children. She sets high educational standards and high career goals for her children's future. In the clip I'm about to show you, we see the standards that Jessica sets for her children, and we see how harsh she is with the way she speaks to them.
Tell me why, Evan.
Huh?
Evan, always be listening to me. What did I ask you when you got a 99 on your spelling test? Did anyone get a 100? And I said no. And you said, then you are the best.
That's right, because what do I say? Amory.
Huh?
Amory always be listening to me. If you're going to do something, be the best.